Well, let's go now to Cardwell in far north Queensland, where Prince William has just arrived to meet with locals affected by Cyclone Yasi. The Prince touched down at Townsville RAAF base a little earlier today after coming from Wellington. But he was very quickly back up in the air again. There wasn't much time on the ground in a Black Hawk helicopter and off to Cardwell. Sky News National Affairs reporter Selena Edmonds is following the Prince on this trip. She joins us now on the line. And Selena, the Prince is due to have lunch with community members and volunteers while he's in Cardwell this afternoon. He's made it very clear he wants this visit to be pretty low-key and just to get to chat to some of the locals.
That's right, Jacinta. Yes, the Prince has been very keen to impress on the Premier's Department, which has been liaising with the Palace about this visit, that he does want it to be a low-key visit. And when he says low-key, he means that he wants to get out and meet with community members that have been affected by this disaster of Cyclone Yasi, and that he wants to meet those people that have been volunteering so much of their time to try and help the people who have been affected. He wants it to be a very real visit where he gets to speak to people firsthand, and that's really what this whole trip is about. And of course, we're not just talking about his trip to Australia, we're talking about his trip to New Zealand as well, where he spoke firsthand with people about the Christchurch earthquake and also with the families of victims at Greymouth of the mine disaster. So he is keeping it as an experience where he gets to talk firsthand to people about what they've been through and hopefully reach out to them. And he's on a real mission, if you like, from the Queen, which he highlighted yesterday in that National Memorial Service in Christchurch, and spoke about the Queen and his grandmother, and spoke about how she had passed on messages of support to the people of Christchurch. Likewise, while we're not expecting to see any official speeches in Cardwell or Tully, that's going to be the message that he's carrying with him as he makes his way around these areas that have been so badly damaged by Cyclone Yasi.
As we saw in Christchurch yesterday, Prince William really proving himself to be the people's prince, if we can coin that phrase used to describe his mother. He is chatting sincerely to locals, really seem to want to hear their stories in Christchurch. And we're seeing the same thing here in Cardwell as we look at these pictures that are just in. Here he is meeting with the locals and volunteer workers and members of the police and all of the people who have been affected by the devastating cyclone that ripped through there only just over a month ago. So he's really endearing himself to the people and no doubt will lift their spirits, Selena.
He's very friendly, isn't he, Jacinta? He comes across very well. He obviously has inherited those people skills from his mother, the late Princess Diana. The comparisons are inevitable, aren't they, as he takes on more and more responsibility in his role and gets out amongst the people. And we're seeing that in this visit, and we saw that in New Zealand as well. In the community of Cardwell, of course, is north of Townsville. It was badly hit by Cyclone Yasi, not just the cyclone but the storm surge associated with the cyclone. It ripped through homes right along that coastline. Devastation was just incredible. So there's many homes and people in these areas that are still really struggling. They are in temporary accommodation. They're trying to get their lives back together. And when we spoke earlier to Premier Anna Bligh, she said that the Prince had stressed that he wanted to meet some of these people that were the hardest hit and hear for himself the kind of experience that they've not only been through, but what they're now trying to cope with day in and day out as they try to get their lives back together. So in Cardwell, he's going to be speaking with people who have been hit obviously by the cyclone and that storm surge. It's a different story again when you get to Tully, which was hit badly by the cyclone. Out around Tully Heads, likewise, they were hit by that dreadful storm surge as well. And also those areas around Mission Beach, we can expect to see a lot of people from right around that area coming to Tully Showgrounds to greet the Prince and hopefully catch a glimpse, give him a wave, or even get to speak to him.
And then this afternoon he's going to also spend some time in Cairns where he'll meet with the Royal Flying Doctor Service. And as we know, that is a service that's dear to his heart. He and his fiancée, Catherine Middleton, have already indicated that is one charity where they'll be donating funds from their upcoming wedding. So I think he'll be a very welcome guest there with the Royal Flying Doctor Service this afternoon.
Very much so, and they have really been key in this disaster time. They have had many various roles. We're not talking just about their role during Cyclone Yasi, where they were involved in evacuating people from hospitals and nursing homes and getting them out of the area prior to the cyclone approaching, but also the Royal Flying Doctor Service also taking on a key role during the floods as well. And it was really this whole trip is very fitting in the sense that we saw the Prince land this morning at the RAAF base in Townsville. Of course, Defence has had such a key role in assisting people after the flooding disaster in January and then again after the cyclone disaster in February. And they have played a key role. It was very fitting to see the Prince landing there and also being greeted by Major General Mick Slater, who is coordinating the flood recovery effort, and also meeting with the Premier Anna Bligh. So they are both escorting him through Cardwell and then on to Tully to the showgrounds there where he's going to be involved in that sausage sizzle. And then again, as you mentioned, Jacinta, to Cairns to the Royal Flying Doctor Service.
And as we're talking to you, we're looking at these pictures just in of Prince William having arrived in Cardwell. He's being mobbed, for want of a better word, by some of the locals there, all keen to shake his hand, have a chat, take photographs. It seems like they're really embracing his visit today. We've heard from one of those in the crowd. Let's have a listen.
He was just looking at the devastation as he was flying in, just asking if people were recovering okay.
And what did you say to him?
So they're recovering well at this stage, and time will tell. But it's been very good, and it's been a great visit, I think, for people to give them a bit of a lift.
Did he mention about the wedding, or did you mention about the upcoming wedding?
No. No, he's doing this in a private capacity, I suppose.
What's your name?
I'm Georgina.
Georgina Leslie?
Duggan.
D-U-W.
That was Georgina, a volunteer with the Red Cross there in Kabul, just not surprisingly talking about how personable the Prince has been on this visit and making everybody just feel, giving them a little bit of a break from everything they've been through over the past few months. Selena, thank you for talking us through the Prince's visit as he continues on. We'll check in with you a bit later.
Thank you.